Opposition leaders from various political parties, including ANT's retired Major General Mugisha Muntu, NUP's Robert Kyagulanyi, UPC's Jimmy Akena, PFF's Erias Lukwago, among others, convened this afternoon at the National Unity Platform headquarters in Kavule. During the meeting, they issued a 48-hour ultimatum for the government to release all political prisoners, including Dr Kiiza Besigye.
We are issuing 48-hour ultimatum to the regime to release Dr Kiiza Besigye and other political prisoners in compliance of the Supreme Court ruling.
They have warned of more drastic measures if government fails to comply with the ultimatum.
Announce a series of national actions to rise up, for people to rise up and end this impunity.
Earlier, NUP President Robert Kyagulanyi led a delegation of opposition leaders to Ruzira prison to check on Dr Kiiza Besigye, who is reportedly in poor health. After hours of waiting, they returned stating that they were unable to see him as he was too weak to move from his bed, further deepening concerns about his well-being. The leaders urged Ugandans to take responsibility for these events rather than leaving them solely to politicians.
So it is upon us Ugandans, like we said at the beginning when Dr Besigye was arrested, that an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. What Dr. Besigye is going through, any one of us can go through it. So it is all of us to say no to this kind of impunity.
They need to get Dr. Besigye out of this place alive, not as a dead body. Because as Ugandans, we will not accept Dr. Besigye out there as a dead body.
Now that he cannot even get out of bed to come and see visitors. It's a very worrisome state of affairs. We'll do all that we have got to do as leaders, but we are calling upon the people of Uganda, let all of us play our part.
Concerns over Besigye's health have intensified, especially after he appeared frail during a recent court session. His family, led by his sister-in-law Edith Byanyima, expressed worry about his condition after receiving a phone call from Luzira prison requesting for his doctor. Dr Kiiza Besigye and Hajo Bedlutale were arrested in Kenya in December last year and are facing charges of illegal possession of weapons with alleged intent of attempting to overthrow the government.
We were not able to see Dr. Kiiza Besigye because we were told he's very weak. He's not able to leave bed unsupported. But we saw Haja Obedu Utale. We also saw Bobby Young. They are in high spirits. They told us that Dr. Kiiza Besigye has been on a hunger strike since Wednesday last week. He's increasingly becoming very weak, but he's strong. He sent us a message. He told us to fight not just for him, but for all political prisoners, especially those that are still incarcerated illegally, those that were sent to prison by the military court. He sends you positive energy. He says, fight on, don't give up. We also were able to learn that Mr. Baryomunsi, Museveni's minister, went to see Dr. Besigye yesterday. Dr. Besigye was shocked to see him. He did not speak to him. So whatever Baryomunsi is telling the nation are his own words, but not coming from Dr. Kebi. To all of you Ugandans, don't leave this to politicians. This man is actually dying. Dr. Besigye is in a terrible state. He cannot leave his bed. Haja Obedu Utale told us he collapsed this morning when they were trying to carry him out of bed. So he's in a terrible state. He's dying. You saw how Sejinya died. We will not forgive ourselves as Ugandans if Besigye dies when we've not put enough pressure. So don't leave this to politicians. You've heard Museveni's son saying Besigye will either leave prison in a coffin or after kneeling down to Museveni. So this is upon all of us to save Besigye. You've saved me before. We can save Besigye and all these other political prisoners.
And therefore, for the good of this country, not just for the sake of those of us in the opposition, for the entire good of everybody, including the oppressors themselves, they need to get Dr. Besigye out of this place alive, not as a dead body. Because as Ugandans, we will not accept Dr. Besigye out there as a dead body. We want him there as a human being, a citizen who was committed to prison when he was alive and well. And also the prison authorities should stop being conspirators in breaking the law. How can the Supreme Court of the land tell you that this is an illegality? and you continue to hold people like that. So we warn them, we caution them. If they want us to beg, some of us are already begging them to have sense in their heads and get these people out before it is too late.